Will the three blind mice ever recognize inflation? Big news coming tomorrow. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. First Sunday, May the 2nd. And geez, we're in May already. What a week we just went through. And of course, we had a Fed meeting, which we'll talk about. And overall, apparently, the markets are never, ever going down again. In the meantime, this first part of our update is brought to you by our friends at Family Farms, our friends and partners who have one goal in mind, that is to help our farmers better capitalize on their crop, on their livestock, and help them manipulate and manage through times of tougher and good to get the most amount of money out of it. And of course, I can't wait for the July event to be able to go out in person as the country starts to open up, and open up it does. As for example, Nevada, Las Vegas is open 80% this weekend, and June 1st they go to 100, as do many others. And so it looks to be like we're finally getting the country open, which, thank God, we need it. Okay, and now we need people to go back to work. Okay, it's enough of the free money staying at home, because the money ain't free. And we know government creates nothing. I don't care which party you're a fan of. They create nothing but debt. And of course, that debt has to be secured. But when you pay people more money to stay home than go to work, what do you think they're going to do? You know, we're not talking about people with a tremendous amount of drive to begin with. Okay? So I think that, again, I'm sick of the stimulus. Listen, I know I won't have to pay for it. I'll be dead. But eventually, someone's going to have to pay for it. And it's going to be an ugly, dark day when the taxes start to rise. And I don't care what income bracket you're in. I don't care what President Biden said earlier. He is going to raise taxes, and it's going to be across the board. You can bet on it. Okay. In the meantime, the staffing shortage, the need for people for help is so, employment is so much in demand that employers are paying more, but yet they cannot compete with the stimulus, with what the government is giving away. And, you know, what do we know about that? We know that it never ends well. Okay. We have to get back to real growth, real jobs, real work to get the country moving. Okay. I mean, yes, we're going to have a big GDP number, but is it a real GDP number? The answer is no. It's not going to be real. It's just a cumulative total because we've been shut down for so long. You know, don't get excited about the numbers you're hearing, 6, 7, 8% of GDP, because listen, we've been at negative. So all you're getting is a recovery. And again, if we can't get people back, if we continue to pay people to stay home, we're not going to get production. So what are you going to have? You're going to have nothing. Okay. You know, it is incredible when you continue to say, hey, stay home, don't go to work. Okay. In the meantime, so the job shortage or the employment shortage is getting at drastic levels. Companies need help. They need workers. They need people to come back to work. Okay. Yeah. And in the meantime, as you continue to watch the markets go ballistic to the upside, okay, you've got the creation of what? More fraud, more phony investments. You know, remember, people they will follow the dream, the promise, the garbage that is out there, and bring you that is how the Madoffs and the other Ponzi schemes have survived over the years. It is the preying on the average or poor investor who believes that the returns that they are promised are real, when we all know one thing. When it looks too good and it sounds too good, it's probably too good. Okay? And I think you have to be very careful with your investment dollars, because if you're not, you're going to end up in just another number in another scheme of someone who got screwed out of their cash, as the criminals are at work figuring ways to relieve you of your capital, especially if you're getting the stimulus money. Okay? So remember, old Bubba here told you, be careful. Anything that looks and sounds too good to be true is probably too good to be true. And nobody is immune to falling into the trap. I mean, we saw in history, we've seen many very smart and wealthy investors get trapped and caught up because, again, that emotion of greed always takes over. So the real question is the COVID-19 recession over? Well, look, the recession was not COVID-made. It was man-made. Okay? The shutting down of the economy, keeping the economy down, was man-made, not COVID-made. So is it over? Well, as we open, it is over. But again, if we don't get people to work, then it's going to have a tough time really progressing. I mean, with the stimulus, personal income is soaring, okay, up 2% 21% on yet another round of free money. And we'll talk about this free money in my commentary today. But you know that there's a family plan being proposed, okay? And again, this is also what I'll talk about in my commentary, because it's, in my mind, it isn't newsworthy, it's Ponzi scheme worthy. But overall, okay, you've got the Fed, which once again continues with the no inflation, okay, because of course, they are using the models that are probably from 1920, okay, and they don't count the most important things of food and energy. They don't count copper. I mean, take a look at the commodity prices and see how much they've gone up, which means that you and I are paying more money at the grocery store. You and I are paying more money at the gas station. You and I are paying more money for everything, but there is no inflation. Now, again, you explain that to me, okay? It is a ridiculous thought that we don't have inflation. It is even more ridiculous that we buy into it every time the imbeciles speak about that they can't reach their 2% inflation target, because there is no way that you aren't paying well over 2% more to live today than you did just a few months ago. And it's only going to get worse. That is the problem, because, of course, if you try to mask the problem by inflating the money supply, what are you really doing? You're hiding, okay, you're hiding the problem. You're masking the problem, which can only blow up in your face, okay? And, we talked about some big exciting news for tomorrow, and we will get to it in our market segment. But, the SEC has once again delayed the launch of some Bitcoin ETFs. Okay, now what is their problem compared to the CFTC? I don't know. But obviously they figure they're probably not getting their fair share, because, it has to be somewhat Fed related. It has to be somewhat because, of course, what the government is afraid of, right? They're afraid of losing control of the monetary system. They're afraid of losing control of the money supply, because many of us would like to be in a system that is not manipulated by governments, by central banks, by interventions, because we know the fiat currency system itself is manipulated, for the benefit of the few. Okay, we continue to see this over and over again as you watch them trash currencies, and it's basically a race to zero. So, if you, depending on your age, go back 20 years, 30 years, and look at what you made and look at how you live compared to what you make now and how you live today. Okay, I think you will find a significant difference in the values of your dollars. And this is the start. China is getting much closer to digital currency, and I would bet you that we are very close. We don't hear as much news here, but I will bet you we are very close. And I have warned about this, and I'm going to warn again, that if they come out with a digital coin, the first thing is I do believe that there are talks going on for a worldwide digital currency. And I don't mean a cryptocurrency. I mean a central bank controlled worldwide coin, almost like the euro currency, which took over, in the Eurozone and combined a bunch of smaller currencies into one. I could see the day when we have one currency throughout the globe. So there is no more reserve currency. And worse than that, your every moment that you are alive, you are tracked. And every dime you spend is known and accounted for. Doesn't sound like a very good idea to me. Now, have the markets peaked? Look, the bottom line is they will go up until they don't. And the free money, or the cheap money, because it ain't free, will continue to propel as investors chase yield. Okay, that is really what you're looking at, is the ability to have inexpensive money, which does not benefit the average, the middle class, and below. It only benefits the extremely wealthy. But of course, supposedly, the party in power is for the small guy. But in the meantime, they have systematically dismantled all small business. I don't know. You tell me. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 2nd. We're going to step out of a break and come back with our market report right after the break. Remember that, first of all, we've got 2 brokerage partners. Now, I have many brokers. Okay? I may have 10 in total. I don't know. But the 2 that I prefer, for futures and commodities, it's the CTG group. Why do I prefer them? Well, number one, they do a great job with our letter of direction trading, and we're the only ones who are authorized to do so. Okay, they have by far the best customer service. They answer the phone. You got a problem, they help you. They help you set your account up. They do everything for you. Okay, they do my accounts. Okay, that's how much I believe in them. They do my executions. Okay, and I'm perfectly capable and up and able to do them. And they've got some great new managed futures products, that they would love to share with you. So check them out. And you can do so at info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And of course, our other brokerage partner for equities and options is Tradier. And again, why Tradier? Well, the first part is $10 a month. Now, again, you just go back and look at what you paid last month for your commissions. Okay. And you tell me if it's more than $10. If it's more than $10, you're giving money away. Okay. Now, the other thing is their customer service is second to none. And there has been times when other brokers were shut down. You can get a hold of them, but you could always get a hold of Tradier. And we have their APIs, which allows us to automate our models. And again, you don't have to automate. You don't have to go to Tradier. That is up to you. But if you want to go to Tradier and you want to automate, you can. And you know what? There's no cost. As part of your membership, you have the ability to auto trade your own portfolio at your own specifications if you choose to do so. And that's Tradier Brokerage. And of course, our commodity report. Listen, Andy Hecht is one of the best authors in the country. Okay, he's also one of the best traders in the country. In fact, at one time was the biggest silver trader in the world. And he's the writer, the author, and you can see him on Seeking Alpha, on Bar Chart. You can see him all over writing everywhere. But if you're a commodities trader, okay, you need to have Technimental. Okay, he sends out every Wednesday a huge report, every Friday a recap, and then the quarterlies, spectacular. In the meantime, go to BUBBATrading.com. It's called Technimental. You can sign up there. And of course, our high school program, look, we're just trying to help educate our youth and give them some financial literacy, which we are severely lacking. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/BubbaTrading. That's patreon.com/BubbaTrading. And now, just one more thing. Yesterday, we did a hedging webinar. We had a little problem, a couple of technical issues last week, so we redid it yesterday. If you would like the recording, our last class until at least the fall starts on Tuesday. If you'd like the recording, you are welcome to it. If not, no worries. Just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with your host, me, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, May the 2nd. And of course, I said we've got some big news. Well, the big news will be sponsored by our friends at the CTG Group. Okay. And of course, as I've said just a few seconds ago, they're spectacular. They do a great job, great customer service. I do have other brokers, but for my letter of direction trading, it's them. For their managed futures products, it's them. And speaking of them, the brand new product coming out tomorrow, I'm not sure if it opens tonight or tomorrow, but is the Bitcoin Micro. So now all of us who want to trade the cryptocurrency at the exchange will have availability because the margins will be, I think, $2,600 to trade the micro, okay, instead of $159,000. In fact, we are going to add it in a few weeks to our own portfolios. But so that is, tomorrow is the launch, or tonight. Again, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. But in the meantime, they are going to have the micro, which means it's opening the door for other. And it's interesting that the SEC won't let the ETFs out, but the CFTC is now in their second or third product of the crypto space. In the meantime, last week, markets were up. It's like a broken record, up every week. Okay, new highs. Every index but the Russell made new highs last week. We are long all four. We did reverse the Russell, and I would be no surprise that the Russell will get there as well. Now, the Dow closed. The S&P closed the week the strongest. The Dow is in solid consolidation, and the Nasdaq is whipping around. But in the meantime, all three of those made new highs this week, and we're long all three, and we will remain long, okay, until the pattern changes. And why shouldn't I be? In the metals department, gold, silver, which we do trade, we are long. It was pretty much of a flat to slightly lower week. But really what you're seeing is some severe consolidation, which will only lead to a big breakout. And again, we would believe that breakout to be higher, obviously, based on the predominant trend right now. We would be long platinum, but we no longer trade it because of the liquidity issues. But if you do trade it, okay, then certainly, I'd be long it. Okay. I mean, I'd always be long it as an owner for long-term physical, but again, from a trading standpoint, certainly I'd own the paper, but we don't trade it because it's just not liquid enough. Copper, God, I tell you, it's amazing. We're long copper, of course, but it continues to defy everything. Okay. You've got, housing growing like crazy. You've got building going like crazy. Demand for copper, and you look at it and you say, oh my God, how can this continue to expand? And yet it keeps expanding and expanding, and it's getting near its all-time record highs. I mean, I would not be surprised if copper get over $5. Okay, so look, we're long, and hey, happy about it. Nat gas, we're long, and that's approaching $3 now, which is unusual this time of year to have these rallies, but it's continuing to push, and of course, a lot's got to do with the potential administration. Natural gas isn't so affected by the criminals at OPEC, but oil is, and of course, since we've decided to give up control of all of our natural resources and let other people do the work, okay, and decide to get rid of all those nice jobs and, American companies and hand it over to the criminals of OPEC, well, you've got oil, surging higher once again. It was lower on Friday, but, overall, I mean, it's continuing to go higher. Listen, I'm no doubt we will see $100 here at some point. Okay. We're already we're at like 66. So again, it looks like it just wants to go up. And of course, that is due to the policy, the new energy policy that we have. And, the bonds and notes, they're fairly flattish, but you're seeing the bond traders doing it looks to be another push. Okay, which means they're pushing down the bond futures, pushing up interest rates, but the Fed refuses to raise the Fed funds rate, which means that now banks are making even more profit because the banks are raising with the treasuries. Okay, and so they're making a big profit. In the meantime, once again, remember, we are the ones that will get to pay this penalty that will soon be around the corner. Okay. But again, hey, what can I tell you? That's what's going on. They continue to push. And the bond traders, the bond market is big enough to really cause an issue here and can force the Fed to start to taper. We'll see how it plays out. It is far from over. We are in the very infancy here. And the dollar was up a little bit last week, but listen, it's getting slaughtered. Okay, it's not like you don't expect to rally. Remember, when you see consistent moves in one direction, you do expect to see the other side, even as a relief sell-off or a relief rally. I think you saw nothing more than a relief rally in the dollar. Okay, so as we look into the grain products, I mean, are you kidding me? They're going. Every time they try to sell them, I keep saying this when I'm on air, just keep buying them, and until they're proven otherwise. Remember, there's a lot of things going on in the grain world. Okay, that may be weather related. There's a lot of issues, and the dramatic oversupply they were carrying, they are no longer doing so. So if we get any weather disruption, not to mention some currency issues, you could see these grains make all-time new highs. Now again, I don't predict anything. We're long. I'm staying long. Okay. In the meats and the protein complex, cattle continues to get slammed. Now we're short, but I hate being short cattle here. I think, again, I'm happy as fast as they're going down because it brings the place where we'll change down faster. Hogs, were up last week, but it was a wild week. It wasn't like they're up a lot. It looks like they could have been up a lot, but there was limit up, limit down, limit up, limit down. It was a wild week, but they look very solid and very good. Okay, and continue to go. In the softs department, cotton, pretty mixed, but we're still long. Certainly a beautiful recovery from the quick low. OJ, we continue to be short, and it had a down week. Coffee had some big up days last week. We're long. Sugar, we're long. Goes with our coffee, right? And cocoa, okay, is kind of sloppy, kind of consolidating. It was up, and then it got creamed on Friday. Okay, so we'll see. Again, we're still short. So basically, we are short OJ and short cocoa and long the rest. But again, we're only trading the trend. I have no opinions. I mean, whatever it is, whatever the trend will be, and I will be there to participate in that trend because, of course, I want to make the money. Okay, so remember that when you're trading, okay, that your trading is one thing, your investing is another. Okay, so when we hedge our portfolios, we hedge them to hold for the long term. When we're trading, we are not necessarily in and out, but we are in with the trend one way and we reverse. So there are times when my open positions will be different than my portfolio. That's all, but no big deal. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horwitz, excited for Bitcoin either tonight or tomorrow. And we're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with my commentary after the break. Well, kids, obviously we've talked about some of our brokerage partners, the CTG group, and reminding you that I do have other brokers. But the other brokerage partner that we prefer is Tradier. And of course, Tradier is $10 a month. That's the simplest way to say it. Okay, $10 a month. If you're paying more than that, you're paying too much. Okay, I mean, I save 5-figure money every month. Okay, so to me, that's like a free paycheck. But again, plus the fact that we can automate if you choose. Now you don't have to. There is no requirement with us to automate. I mean, we don't care if you automate or not. We made it available at no cost. Okay, and got a broker for $10 a month. So if you want to do that, that's great. If you don't, hey, don't. It's entirely up to you. Okay, that's Trade Your Brokerage. Great partners, great customer service, and of course our partners in the farming industry, the family farms. Great people have the same interests that we do, which is helping the farmers better take care of their capital. We know they know how to farm. We know about money. We want to help them better manage and hedge and take care of their stuff. And of course, our commodity report written by Andy Heck. Like I said, if you're a commodities trader, there is nothing like technical. Okay, you're getting the views of a 40-year veteran. Okay, that has a unique feel about markets because he's traded not only futures but the physical stuff. He's traveled globally. It's called Technical. Check it out. Okay, at BUBBATrading.com, and of course our high school program. You can help us out if you'd like. Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and of course my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, May the 2nd, and of course every week I talk about something or bitch about something, and I'll tell you something. Universal income, it's coming. It is coming. And it is sad that it's coming. I really don't understand what is wrong with people getting a job. I cannot comprehend, not working. I can't comprehend staying home and doing nothing and getting paid to do so. I mean, I don't understand. I think it's bad for your mind. I think it's bad for everything. Okay. And there is such a demand for jobs out there. And, America is, and hopefully will stay, a free country that offers you the ability to go as far as you can. Okay, and you don't have to be a Harvard graduate or whatever. Hell, I didn't graduate. I didn't even go to college. Okay, so, you don't have, you can advance, you can do great things and make a lot of money in this country if you're willing to work. You're willing to work for it, but yet the government continues to want to create these ridiculous programs, the family plan now, which is only more money that they're giving away, and they're not giving their money away. When was the last time they took a pay cut? They're not giving their money away. They are giving our money away because we're going to get taxed on it. Okay, somebody's going to have to pay the bill eventually. So universal income, get my words to universal income is get your ass off the couch and get a job. Okay, you should not be able to make more money sitting home doing nothing with benefits from the government than you should by going to get a job. Okay, I think you get a job, you work your way up, and you increase your salary. Okay, I don't think anybody goes to work with the desire to collect minimum wage. I think people go to work. And if you are, then you're making a mistake and you're too much dependent on the free lunch the government is offering, which is not free. Okay. And even those getting the benefits will also pay for it with less dollars eventually, because eventually the well has to run dry. So you can take this stimulus, you can take this universal income crap and you can ram it, because to me, it's a waste. It demeans what it means to be a hardworking American and an entrepreneur and anything else, because in America, the one thing I do know is that anybody has the opportunity to get to the next level in life if they choose to work to get there. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz, and of course, have a great weekend, everybody. And, it's a new month. We're coming in. It's been awfully slow. I don't know what this week's going to bring. In the meantime, it'll be interesting to see what the Bitcoin micros do. I would suspect they're going to be a huge launch. Let's see what happens. And of course, we'll see you tomorrow with our daily updates. But of course, next Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. In the meantime, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, I thank you. We'll see you next time. Bubba's Bottom Line.